Good morning, everyone. I'm very glad to be back with you again, as I always am. It's a lovely day here in California, very hot. We've had up to 106 temperature out here, and of course, I'm in the house anyhow uh, because of the coronavirus, but I had to stay in because of the heat. I hope you're having good weather wherever you are. Today, I want to talk about how we get from here to where we want to go with racial equality. And where we want to go is so that everybody is equal in everything we do, whether it's jobs, economy, schooling, just living, that we don't have to worry about someone else saying where we can go and where we can't go and what we can do and what we can't do. Because of our tenacity and our strength and our will to survive, the black people have learned, along with the Native Americans and others who come to this country to make it, have learned to strive harder than the whites who don't have to strive as hard as we do, who many things are given. And it is expected. But we haven't taken anything for granted. We've just gotten out there and pushed and worked hard. And now we see some evidence of our hard work. Take, for example, Joy Reid on MSNBC. Joy Reid is going to be starting hosting a primetime cable news program on July 20th. She will be the only African American female to do that, and she is the first. Being the first is good, and it's a tremendous burden, because if you're the first, you have a responsibility to make sure that there is a second and a third and 100th and 1,000th of the people doing the same thing that you do coming along behind you. So when you're the first, you have to get inside the door and put your foot in the door and hold it open for the next person to come in. I've been the first of many situations, but what I've tried to do is to make sure that coming behind me was a sister just like me, working hard and making it. And in doing so, I have seen some good people. Some have come and said thank you. Others have not, but that's all right. We have to move forward with one at a time sometimes, but make sure that you're not the only one. I have a granddaughter who's coming along in journalism. Open the door for her. Put your foot in it and make sure it doesn't close before she gets there. Now, when I talk about leaders and people who are the first, I have to say the first is one person, and as I'm saying, it can help other people come along and be more than one. But we don't make it by just having leaders. We have to have followers. We have to have people who do all of the grunt work and be a good follower, not somebody who's complaining and not wanting to do your job. You must do what your job requires of you so we can make the whole thing work. They can't just be captains. There's got to be crew members. We can't just be leaders. There must be followers. And so I want to share with you a poem that was written. I always have to put my glasses on. Written by Douglas Mallock. And when I share poems with you, I do it so that you can get the message. Poetry seems to give the message in a sweet way, similar to my novel, My Ancestral Voices, which gives the message in laughter, in tears, and in I don't believe that happened kind of ways. But it gives the message so that it's palatable. You can take it. And so I do poetry. As we grew up reciting poems, and they were for motivation, for information that would carry us through sometimes when we didn't know what else to do. And this one will do just that. Talks about not everybody being at the front end. Somebody has to bring up the rear. Be the best of whatever you are. And I'm going to read this twice because if you don't get it the first time, I want you to get it. Now, if you can't be a pine on the top of the hill, be a shrub in the valley. But be the best little shrub beside the side of the rill. Be a bush if you can't be a tree. If you can't be a bush, be a bit of the grass. And some highway happier make. If you can't be a muskie, then just be a bass. But the liveliest bass in the lake. We can't all be captains. We've got to be crew. There's something for all of us here. There's big work to do, and there's lesser to do. And the task you must do is the near. If you can't be a highway, then just be a trail. If you can't be the sun, be a star. It isn't by size that you win or fail. Be the best of whatever you are. That message is so profound that I have to say it again. If you can't be a pine on the top of the hill, be a shrub in the valley. But be the best little shrub beside the side of the rill. Be a bush if you can't be a tree. If you can't be a bush, be a bit of the grass, and some highway happier make. If you can't be a muskie, then just be a bass, but the liveliest bass in the lake. We can't all be captains, we've got to be crew. There's something for all of us here. There's big work to do, and there's lesser to do, and the task you must do is near. If you can't be a highway, then just be a trail. If you can't be the sun, be a star. It isn't by size that you win or fail. Be the best of whatever you are. And God bless you all.